Hello, everybody. It's 12:30 now, so I will start. I can see people coming into the attendee area. So I will get started today because 30 minutes is never long enough. So I'll share my screen now, and hopefully you can all see that, and I will jump in. Okay, so welcome. Leaving employment and going self-employed in marketing is something that I have done myself. I know how it feels. I know the motivations. And I also did that without the framework of something like Active, which is why, fast forward 12, 13 years, I am now in a position where we have built out something which means that people don't have to go through what I went through, which is what drives me and motivates me to do what I do every day. So we will get stuck in. So if you don't know me, I'm Katie Bullon. I've worked in marketing for 20 plus years, been in the franchise industry for about 14. So I was in corporate marketing in an international role, which took me all over the world in lots of different areas. I then went freelance when I had my first baby, thinking that I could have the freedom that I was looking for. Quickly found that there must be a better way and then became a franchisee of Activ. And in 2021, sorry, I took over the whole network and apologies, and have scaled the business to be the full marketing agency franchise that it is today. So I've been at all areas and understand the motivations and also the struggles at each stage. So I am a wife, a mum of three. We have a puppy, a couple of horses, hamsters. There's lots going on. But yes, just for a little bit about me. In by way of awards and recognition. So I have won multiple awards within the marketing industry and the franchise industry for the work that we have done at Activ and what we've built as a network. I'm also a columnist for Elite Franchise magazine and the BFA magazine, talking about all things marketing and franchising and how that supports people within the industry, both businesses and marketers. I also work as a judge for various different awards, and I love that part of it. I love really understanding people's motivations and what they're trying to achieve to their businesses. So that's something I love, giving back a bit of time to support people up and coming. By way of Active, we currently got around 1,000 clients across the UK, and those clients are serviced across around 20 franchise branches. So before we start, you're here because you know we're going to be talking about leaving employment and moving towards self-employment within marketing. So these things are going to sound familiar. So you're answerable to someone else's targets, delivering someone else's strategy, not your own ideas. You might feel like you're making money for someone else and not for yourself to the level that you want to make it. And you want that freedom of choosing your hours, choosing the clients you work with, choosing the work that you do. So if that all sounds familiar, or some of it sounds familiar, then I think this is going to be a really useful 30 minutes. So we'll get stuck in. So we're going to look at why the opportunity has never been bigger, why most self-employed marketers struggle to capture the extent of the opportunity and deliver it. We'll look at the realities that nobody warns you about because everyone focuses on the freedom and the fact that marketing, but there is a smarter, safer, faster way. And that is what this picture today is going to give you a snapshot of, to the level that I can give you in 30 minutes. So We've done loads of research, both SME side and freelancer side. And what we know is that 70+% of businesses now outsource an element of their marketing or all of it, depending on their size, structure, etc. And that figure was even up 45% on the previous year. And what we found in that research is that they don't just want a list of suppliers. They don't want one person for web, socials, PR. They want one trusted partner who can deliver everything without the HR costs, without everything else that comes along with knowing who to employ to deliver that full mix. So there really is great opportunity out there, particularly in this current climate, for someone who can effectively deliver what businesses want. So when it comes to the problems of going it alone, there there are problems that I've experienced, and from all of the marketers that I speak to, these are the things that come up. So businesses want one strategy and they want everything delivered from a single source. Now, regardless of how brilliant you are at marketing, there is not going to be every single element of the mix that you can deliver to the level that you want to deliver for your client. So you can't cover every discipline, which then means that you're outsourcing to other freelancers or you are referring to other businesses, which means that, there's that gap and people are going and spending elsewhere. If you're holding on to them by outsourcing to freelancers, often you will struggle to make any money on that or keep control of the output for your client or project management timeframes. The opportunity is huge, but the freelance model where you have one person with a capped amount of hours in their week, in their month, delivering for these clients, it wasn't built to do that. And that has lots of problems in terms of burnout, in terms of client retention. The list goes on. And this is something that we've really spent a lot of time understanding these problems to make sure that the solution we deliver gets rid of those for our partners. And that's what we see is, the feedback immediately when they join is that they can take on more clients and they're working less, or they're not up till midnight on the laptop. They know that their clients are handled. So when it comes to a reality check on the 5 realities of going it alone, so it can all seem simple up front before you get into the detail, but the foundations can take longer than you think in terms of pricing, building out your system, your brand, etc. That is all taking up non-billable time. So the time that you are spending on all of that eats up into the time that you're actually billing for clients from day one. And so our research shows that 85 plus hours a month can be spent on non-billable tasks. And that is looking at year one, but that continues further. The marketing industry is adapting, client needs are adapting, and constantly building out new service bases, new offerings and approaches for clients. That's all done within non-billable time. When it comes to pricing and contracts, they are very much a skill, and ensuring that the pricing models, the onboarding processes, everything that you have to do to seamlessly onboard a client in a way that works for them so they build trust in you and that you retain them long term, that is a real skill. Looking at visibility, that doesn't happen on its own. Referrals can be a great way for someone who's got a network to bring clients on board. But when you're head down with delivery and you're not out networking or in touch with your network that you may be in contact with from your job, those referrals can dry up. Having a system behind you that nurtures inquiries, tracks opportunities, adds value to leads within a funnel, for example, that needs to be all happening behind the scenes. And if that isn't happening, you can become very busy in delivery until you look up a client or two finishes their contract and you're back to square one in building a client base. The other thing of going it alone is that mental load. So you are everything within that business as a freelancer. On the other side, of course, if you decide to go down the route of employing people, there's another mental load that it comes with that. But that mental load of being a solo person, you're delivering, you're dealing with new business, you're dealing with accounts, you're dealing with brand marketing, troubleshooting, tech support, all of that in one go, whilst trying to maximize your billable hours, and it can become really, really difficult to sustain. When it comes to the numbers of setting up alone, so again, this comes from research that we did last year in terms of setting up a marketing business at a level that is, you as a freelancer offering a certain amount of tools, but building that business in a way that does all of what I'm telling you and sustains that. Now, this is not accounting for your time in that first year, those 85 plus hours a month of non-billable time to define your brand, your creative, your positioning, how you build out your tech support and your tech stack for websites and servers ongoing, all of your legal contracts, your compliance guidelines, your templates for digital contracts, for example. That is all takes a lot of your time as well as the fees to do it. Networking and visibility, you've got to get out there, and that's again time and cost to pick the right route to build that client base. So it's just something that people don't fully map out when they start alone. It can be, I know marketing, I know Instagram, I have a laptop, I have a phone, I've got a couple of clients that want to work with me. I'll make it up as I go along. And that might work initially, but there's lots of drawbacks to that in terms of being able to scale or being able to retain those first clients that have come on board, because you're operating in more of a trial and error state than a system that is ready to scale with you. So when it comes to franchising, the industry from a marketing perspective is fairly new in terms of what we offer. So as I said, since 2021, having that perspective from corporate, freelance, franchisee, and now franchisor leading the business, it gave me that perspective of where franchising perfectly fits within the marketing industry. And the way that a system and a repeatable blueprint that we know is proven can really solve a problem for freelancers. And franchising as an industry, the British Franchise Association, of which we are members, they do lots of research into the industry and the success rates, etc. So some of the stats I wanted to pull out are franchise businesses, that people that set up new territories, there's a 99.5% success rate within 3 years. And that's because no one is setting anything up from scratch. You are joining a proven framework and you are able to hit the ground running because everything is done for you. That if you were setting up on your own, you would have to be doing for the first year, which really would reduce billable, for example. So comparing that to independent startups, the failure rate for independent startups is around 50%, which is quite a well-known fact within the market. The franchise industry is not new, small as an industry. It's just something that we have brought more to the forefront within marketing. But it's a £19.1 billion economy in the UK, and that was from 2024 stats. So that is growing. So it's a really attractive way to shortcut that route to getting the business where you need it to be. So in terms of timing your launch from a marketing business, we know the peaks in client inquiries are in a really repeatable rhythm throughout the year. That's not to say we don't onboard people at different stages, but September and January are the two peaks that we see in terms of an uplift in client proposals, client onboarding, new contracts being signed, And it's almost like September has become a version of January after the summer holidays, where there is a refresh in terms of strategies for businesses or people that are existing clients. We often see they've, have been on holiday, had some time to think, and they want to upweight their activity. So it's important to consider that when leaving employment, because we want you to capitalize on the best timings to replace an income as soon as you can. And September and January are those 2 points of the year that we know there is a spike in demand. So, a little bit about Activ as a summary. So, you wouldn't be starting a business from scratch. It's a proven framework. We are British Franchise Association accredited. We're an expanding member. And we're also listed in the Elite Franchise Top 100, which places us in the top 10% of all franchises in the UK. So, yeah, there's around 1,020, maybe a few more than that now, franchises in the UK. And yeah, we're in the top 10% of those, and we're the only marketing franchise on that list. And to be part of that is something we're really proud of, because everything within our business behind the scenes is verified by everybody when we are, entered into these lists. And it shows to me that, we're operating ethically, we're doing what we say we're doing, and we are not promising something that isn't real. So as a business, as I said, we have around 1,000 clients nationwide, which is serviced across 20 branches. So in essence, our business in a box is delivered for a new franchise partner and launched within 4 weeks. So what you get with Activ, you have a fully established brand with all of the assets you need ready from day one, proven pricing, packaged up into services, and the onboarding already there, delivered for you. You have a full CRM system and marketing hub with the marketing kind of engine built in to generate leads, to book appointments, to nurture leads through the cycle, and to nurture proposals to close. Everything is there set for you to run your business from day one to capitalize on your network. We also have recently, we launched it at the International Franchise Show in London in April. We have built out a customized AI layer into our back office so that franchisees have support with delivering their own marketing based on our strategy and all the systems available to you, to generating proposals really quickly based on your notes from a client meeting. And the AI is taught on what questions we need to ask, what pain points we need to uncover, and therefore what services we need to include in this proposal. And that then is built into a sales automation. So it saves you time up front on the proposal, and it looks to close those proposals quicker to start invoicing sooner. There's also a community of existing franchise partners, which is growing all the time, to ask questions, to share experiences, to build case studies from if you haven't got a client in a specific industry and you need to prove something. Everyone is there to support each other. And alongside that, you also have the head office support team that can support on more complex client strategy calls, project calls, and deliver work on your behalf if you want us to. So how the delivery works is that there's you always own the client relationship, and then what happens behind the scenes is your choice. So using our systems, training templates, everything that you get access to, you can deliver the work yourself. You don't have to use the team for any delivery. You can, however, on a case-by-case basis, delegate to the head office team to cover skill sets that you don't have, time that you don't have, clients that don't feel are right for you to do the work specifically on, for example. And that is all to our set pricing structure and onboarding processes. We also have a subscription route where we are constantly building out further features, which will launch within the next few months. But as a starter option, in one case for businesses that have a smaller budget, we have routes via a subscription to deliver their marketing. And that is a really kind of hands-off approach from you. That is all delivered by the head office team. And you are generating a monthly ongoing income for as long as that client has their website live or their CRM live, etc. So on top of that delivery, there's the training within our system, video training, which comes with workbooks. We also have the AI support for proposals, etc., like I mentioned, how to use the CRM system, the list goes on. The pricing that we give you is across 150 services that you can choose to do the work yourself, delegate to head office, and all of that pricing is set. If there's something more bespoke, you simply ask for a quote for our team, you mark it up how you want to before you pitch it to the client, and you take it forward. All of the back office is digital in terms of terms and conditions, contracts, and tracking your customers within your system. We also support with done for you marketing campaigns for lead generation. So we will build out a full campaign and drop that directly into your CRM system so you can execute that easily to your database. You can use the system to schedule your social media based on the input and templates we give you. And it just really cuts down the time of having to do your own marketing. You're also part of the community. We have a community space where all of our events are shared and best practice and links to everything that you might need for further resources. So you lead the relationship with the client and we back the delivery for them when you want us to, but behind the scenes is where you have the real support. So when it comes to earning potentials, and this is a top line view of further details that are shared within our financial information memorandum, which is a document that you can gain access to once you have signed our NDA form. So realistic figures, 6 figures by the end of year 2, and the average earnings by year 3 are around 125,000 plus. These figures were verified by the BFA before we rolled out our subscription services at the end of last year. So there's further means to generate more compounding income quicker with those. In terms of client base, our franchisees have anything from 5 to 200 clients without employing anyone. So they are live clients that they're earning an income from month on month. So what that means is that the vulnerability is taken away. When you are operating solo and you have a handful of clients, you might have 1, 2 drop off, and that massively impacts your revenue. So scaling more clients through the way our system works means that your business is not financially vulnerable, and that's the goal. So in terms of ways to earn, there's client projects, so covering upfront strategy, campaigns, branding, upfront websites, and then there's monthly retainers. So that could be anything from hosting and support, SEO, social media, other ongoing features that they want as part of a retainer, which we can build bespoke based on our price list. Active Thrive is the subscriptions that I mentioned, which is the hands-off approach. But those are things that you can then upsell to deeper levels to give more support. And again, that is still very hands-off from you. You can sell in the CRM system, which gives businesses everything that they need to run their sales and marketing, from opportunity pipeline, social media scheduler, email marketing, calendar. It replaces a lot of individual tools that they might need at a really cost-effective fee. So it allows you to sell that in with us setting up that system for them, rather than just going and finding a subscription online for a CRM system that they may not have support in building. It also allows you to use that system to further upsell additional services and support. We also are starting now to support other franchise businesses with a marketing system behind the scenes, which if you bring in a franchise client, there's the ability for you to then roll out retainers across their territories, which is a really nice way to build further clients quite quickly. Yes. So, just a couple of examples of people of our real franchise partners. So, Lisa has been with us 15 plus years. She left employment with transferable skills. She wasn't a marketer. Lisa does a lot of networking. She has a huge client base, and she brings in around 3 projects every month, which she, mainly acts as more of a customer service lead rather than delivering the work herself. And she brought her husband into the business, so they're both full time on it. They don't employ anyone, but they, as I said, have a huge amount of clients. Lou used to be within corporate marketing. She actually initially went freelance on her own, and then about a year or so later found us and joined us. So now she, has scaled to I think 20 plus clients, plus other ad hoc clients. So by way of strategic clients, I mean that she supports them with a more deeper level of service rather than other franchisees that may have a huge amount more, but some of those may be hosting or small retainers, as an example. So yeah, both of those are examples of people that have really changed the way their day-to-day looks, their freedom looks, and their income looks through really using the system that we give them. So yeah, we love working with them. They are brilliant. So in terms of getting started, how we work is that we launch within 4 weeks. So from induction at our Cardiff head office, we then spend that time understanding you, your motivations for your business, how you want your story to look when we launch you. And we build all of that out for you, from customizing your CRM and marketing system, your website, your email, your upfront marketing plan. And we work behind the scenes within 4 weeks to get that launched for you at a date that you're happy. So this could be handled during a notice period or part-time to begin with. We have various different people that have joined us from employment. Some of them have operated very under the radar to start with. Some of them have, as I said, worked in a notice period. We're flexible to work, how it works for you, particularly with the location brand. We can, keep that more anonymous. So let me just close that down. So ongoing head office support and the mentoring with me. In the first 3 months, you have a set amount of one-to-ones with me, which we can use as you want to use them. We can, build out your strategy. We can support with how you build your story and your targeting of customers. And that is customized to you, however you want to use that time. Everyone seems to use it differently. I'm just sorry, getting notifications. And then the ongoing head office support continues after you've been trading, after you've been launched, sorry. So that has come 2 minutes to the end. If you want more information, you can scan the QR code to download a brochure, which will give you loads of information, links to book a discovery call anyway, or to sign our NDA if you want to go deeper and get further financial information by way of our financial information memorandum. Or you can just book a discovery call straight in my diary to have a demo of the system. I can show you the back end and talk through any specific queries that are more related to you. So I will stop sharing there. Does anybody have any questions? Let me have a look to see if there are questions. I never know how to use this element. Hang on a sec. Where are the Q&As? No open questions. Okay, I'll give it a sec till 1 in case anyone does have anything. I hope that was useful for you all. I can see a couple of names that I recognise of people I've spoken to recently. Hello. Okay, no questions. Right, thank you so much for coming. This recording will be available to people who registered and weren't able to attend, so it will get sent out. So yeah, thank you for coming.